All right, so it is later in the day after I went to the local grocery and the pharmacy and cleaned the stove. And right now it's time for me to deal with the 6 pounds of meat that I bought. I bought 3 pounds of bacon, 1 pound of ground chuck, and 2 pounds of sirloin steak. So what I want to do is start dealing with this meat because I'm not going to eat it all at once. And I'm not going to cook it all at once. So, and I kind of want to show you, if you're just one person or two people, you can deal with your meat in a way that makes sure that you have the meat and it does not go bad. So this is a gallon Ziploc bag, if I can get it open. This is a gallon Ziploc bag, and I will put my bacon in here and I will lay it flat in the freezer. So right now I want to cut my bacon up, and here is a pair of scissors. They're still a little bit wet. I always wash my dishes once after I use them and once before I use them. So for those of you that were complaining about the stove, all of my work surfaces are immaculate, except the stove, which I actually cleaned earlier, so now you can't complain about that either. But it was pretty awful. I just couldn't find any time to get it done. But I go ahead and deal with my bacon like this. A pair of meat scissors really makes this very easy to do. Just decide how big you want your little bacons and do it. I prefer my bacon much smaller than average because this is hard to cook. And I even think cutting it just in half can be kind of difficult to cook. So we just do it like this. And this was fresh bought today. And the meat counter actually smelled a lot like bleach today. I think he decided he didn't like last night's clothes, so he redid it, obviously. But, so here we go, just cutting up the bacon. And normally, if it were a little earlier, I would save some of this bacon out and make breakfast, but it's been a really busy morning. So all I did this morning was I grabbed 2 packs of granola bars, ate those, made some coffee, which it's still on, so I can have coffee in a minute too. And took a shower. So that's all I'm doing. And then I will make something much more substantial for lunch. And I don't know what that's going to be yet. I never know what I want to eat. If you're like always telling yourself, like, I never know what I want to eat. Dude, I never know what I want to eat until I'm like literally about to cook it. So what I do know is I love bacon. So, all right. So there's the bacon. It's all cut up and ready for the bag. We just toss our little bacons in here. And if you freeze it flat, you can then slam this on the table a couple times, and these bacons will break apart in these chunks, and you'll be able to get your bacon and cook it from frozen. Bacon, bacon, bacon. All right, I think this is good enough. Yeah, all that's going to fit in there. So that's 3 pounds of bacon. And it's not even like that I needed bacon today. It's that the bacon only goes on sale about every 4 to 6 weeks. Otherwise, it is $5.99 a pound, and I just got it for $4 a pound. So it's like buying 2 pounds and getting one for free. Oh, you do have to buy 3 pounds of bacon now. All right, so I am going to freeze this right like this. And I might smack it a few times in a couple hours. as it freezes. If you can remember to do that, it makes things a lot easier. Like if you're cooking something and you don't want it to freeze into a clump, smacking it a few times on the table as it freezes can help a lot. All right, so I am done with these scissors, I think. I am done with this. I did take the trash out. And we want to deal with this hamburger. It's just 1 little pound of hamburger. But I still don't want to cook, a whole pound of hamburger at once. So I'm going to divide this in half. I was thinking I might need to buy some more of these bags, but no, I've got another bag or pack of them. I must have got them. So I want to divide this in half. And if you buy meat directly from the meat counter, I would not advise freezing it in these packages. I have done that before and been very sorry. Because what happens is, even if they use this plastic, it will get embedded in the hamburger folds, and you will never be free of that plastic. It will haunt you. All right, so I'm going to divide this in half. Normally I would weigh this, but I'm not feeling it today. And I think that's about right. This one might be just a hair bigger. All right. And if you like giant meatballs, you could make an 8-ounce meatball. In fact, I could make meatballs out of this. I'm not feeling it. Alright, so these are done. Okay. I could weigh these now that they're in the bag. See if they're even remotely close. See how many ounces. This is 8.1 ounces, and this one is 8.3. So without even weighing them, I actually divided them perfectly. So these are done and ready for whatever I might want to do to them. And now I have the big thing, the steak. Alrighty, so let's see what we can do with this steak. This is USDA Choice Sirloin, and it's a big steak. It's a big steak. It's 2 pounds. What are you doing there? Oh, I know exactly what that was. I have white fuzzies on my clothes because I think these clothes were washed with a white towel. Oh, well. All right. So, this is 2 pounds of sirloin steak. And I just got this just a few hours ago. So I want to deal with it. This guy doesn't. I don't like how he puts the steaks on the edge. Alright, so this is a mighty drippy steak. Alright, how do I want to do this? So if I cut it in half, it's going to be 1 pound. Alright, so if I cut this in half, it's going to be 1 pound of sirloin steak. If I cut it in half again, they're going to be half pound. It should be pretty close to 8 ounces. Alrighty. Boy, this is fresh. This is some fresh steak. Alright, so there's a half pound. And here's a half pound. These are basically 8-ounce steaks. And I do not want this. Okay, so I think I've got 2 steaks and 2 strips, 2 packages of strips. Yeah, I think that'll do. All right. So, I never know what I'm going to do with this stuff. So I've got 2 steaks, 2 sirloin steaks. And I'll put these in the freezer. And then I'm going to cut all of this into strips. And I'll do various things with it. And I could have bought the sirloin tip steaks. They were a little bit cheaper. I think they were $5.99 a pound. But I generally want the bigger slabs of meat because, you know, sometimes you'll find something great. Like I got 2 good steaks out of that. And then I'll have another pound of steak strips that I can make beef and noodles with. Or I think I'm going to make some, they call it assassin spaghetti. I might have that. And so I just need one more. So, all right, so I'm going to make my steak strips. And you could use this for stir fry too. You know, so, which is great. You know, I got 2 nice 8-ounce steaks, and I will make some steak strips out of the other pound because it's got a lot of fat on it. So it's not going to make good steaks, but it'll make good strips. And you could put this in stir fries, beef and noodles, wherever you need, you know, a little bit of steak. If you're really good at, you know, paying attention to what you're using your food with and how much you waste, you can actually take these cutaway pieces and use them to make your own beef broth or vegetable broth or whatever. I just pitch in because I right now do not have a stock pot that I could do that with, but you can do that with your vegetable scraps too, your rinds and all the vegetable waste that you make when you're peeling vegetables. You can turn that into vegetable stock. Just remember to strain it out with a cheesecloth. Boy, this is a wonderful steak. Yeah, I ran into a bit of gristle. Oh, I got a little bit of fat right here. But yeah, if you look online enough, you'll see that there's almost no need to waste anything. The reason you waste it is because you're being lazy. See, I'm just being lazy. Because this has got that type of fat is difficult. You know, we got some fat over here. But all this stuff, you could save it and make broth out of it if you wanted to. And I'll see how close to a pound I was after I get this into a bag. But there we go. That's that. Oops. It's a lot of meat. Okay. So, stay there. All right. Alrighty. So I'm going to see if I was right on the money for the pound of steak strips. We'll see. Here's my little bag of steak strips. And they are good for everything. I'll make some beef and noodles out of this. And I think I'm going to make that assassin spaghetti and put these in that. So let's see what we got. 15.1 ounces. Close enough. Plus I cut off some fat scraps and things like that. So it probably really was just about 1 pound of meat. And again, you want to lay it as flat as you can. And I will show you here what this looks like. Especially this red meat. It will clump real bad. So as you can see, I have laid the meat real flat. I've laid the bacon flat. Hamburger really doesn't matter. That's a pork from the other week. So this is all done. And now I need to clean my table. Even if you use a paper like I did, you still need to clean your table. Preferably with something non-food. Great, I'm going to use, this is Lysol, is what this is. I buy concentrated Lysol, and I need some more. And put it in its own bottle. I only need to buy one of those Lysols about, once every couple of months. They really last a long time. So that is clean. It's not food safe. I just want to point that out. This is not food safe, but it is clean. Because at some point today I got to do laundry. And it doesn't matter if this table is food safe to do laundry, but it does need to be clean. So the table is clean. Now if I were going to make this food safe, I would pour some vinegar on here, wipe it down again, and then wipe it down with some water and wipe it down with some water. So now I need lunch. It is noon, actually. I can't believe it. It is only just now noon, so I'm in time for lunch at least. So anyway, that is how you deal with meat when you are not a small tribe. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.